Hey YouTube, I did this video a couple of times, but for some reason the AI on the new Galaxy phones just screwed it all up. Couldn't find the video, deleted it or whatever. Pollen's getting me today. So I got a letter back from the senator's office. It was written by one of his aides, I suppose. Saying that the senator supports the upcoming rulemaking from his agency. He said that what caught their eye was that 21% climb between 21 and 22 for death rates. It climbed 21% 1 year, and they figured that if they didn't do something now about it, it would just keep climbing until e-bike decks eclipsed regular bikes. Now, mind you, that there's still multi-millions more regular bikes than there are e-bikes on the trails and the roads and whatever. But that number growing as fast as it is concerning to them. Class 1 bikes, they said, would probably be left alone. If you have a Class 1 bike, you don't need to worry about it. Class 1 is no throttle, only provides assistance when you're pedaling up to 20 miles an hour. The Class 2 and Class 3 bikes will be reinterpreted, meaning they're going to change the specifications. They're a little concerned that some 750 watt bikes are actually in the 1400 watt range. And that's not all of them, but there's quite a few out there. The example was the other day, the guy that stopped and talked to me said that his bike would go 35 miles an hour. Now, there's people on YouTube making videos of their bikes going 35, 40 miles an hour, and then they wonder where they're getting their information. YouTube is open to anybody who wants to look at it. You can't really restrict who you make videos for, and if you do, you probably just kill your audience, unless you make it publish videos only for your subscribers, and then you're defeating the whole purpose of having a channel, is reaching more people. So they wouldn't go into details about how Class 2 and how Class 3 bikes would be reclassified, but my guess is they're going to put a hard limit on power output on bikes. They're going to hard cap it. Instead of just saying it's 750 watts nominal, meaning that that's the lowest number it's going to put out, they're going to cap it hard at 750 watts, or 3/4 of a horsepower. Now, they have multiple sources to gather information on what bikes are, what the actual output of the bikes are. There's a guy on this YouTube, Bolton E-Bikes. He has a channel where he does dyno testing on, and calculates the real output of the motors. I imagine that he should check it out, because I'm sure they're looking at his videos and figuring out that most bikes exceed their watt output by quite a bit. So, for example, Electric rates their bikes at 500 watts. I would care to guess, based on how many amps my electric bikes draw, that they're more closer to over 1,000 watts. I don't know if he's tested any electric bikes, but I haven't really I'm subscribed to his channel, but I don't watch it too often. I have too much other stuff to do to watch much YouTube anymore. And I do usually have a few answers to provide people on a daily basis. Now, so those of you that have Class 2 and 3 bikes might have something to worry about. They're not coming after your bikes. They're coming after where you can ride your bike. uh, and future standards for bikes. That's what they're coming after. So there was a lot of confusion. I'm answered a lot of questions about UL listings, and UL is United Laboratories, I believe, if I remember right. And they are an independent laboratory that tests batteries, motors, anything electrical. If they give it a UL certification, that's safe to use in your home. And that's why they're doing this, is because of the battery fires that have burnt houses down. So they're doing a UL listing, so that means that if your battery is UL listed, like this Bosch battery, it has been tested to meet certain standards. Now, insurance companies, if they found out you had a lithium battery in your house and it burnt your house down, and you weren't following the instructions on the battery or the manufacturer's instructions to charge the battery, you may be paying for a house fire, or they may limit your coverage, or they may just outright dump you after they find out. So keep that in mind. I seen an article written by a national magazine concerning Mackinac Island. If you're in Michigan, you want to take your e-bike to Mackinac Island, my suggestion is don't. First, before you even take the bike to the island, you have to have a letter from the chief of police, saying the bike is authorized to be on the island. And you are not going to get a letter for a class 2 or class 3. And here's what the problem is. This lady wanted to take her electric trike over to the island so she could see the island. Well, what ended up happening was she was denied 3 times. And the island's attorneys keep denying it. Well, the ADA in Michigan basically says if you have a physical limitation that keeps you from riding a normal bike class, then they cannot deny it. She even brought medical evidence with her application, and they still denied it. She had a letter from a doctor saying that she couldn't ride a class 1 bike because she can't push hard enough on the pedals to make the bike move fast enough to get out of any traffic sway. For example, the horses on the island. They don't stop on a dime either. So if they have a full carriage with 20-30 people on it, and you're on a bike and you happen to be in their way, you can't get out of their way if you can't pedal. And that was her problem. She just wanted her trike. Now, trikes are considered mobility devices, so that's like saying you can't take your wheelchair to the island. I think there's a major lawsuit. I think the ACLU needs to get involved. No city government should be able to limit what people need when it comes to mobility. It's just plain and simple. We've been to the island several times. We've taken regular bikes. We were thinking about taking our e-bikes, but Karen only has a class 2 and I have a class 1. And the guy on the boat, when we tried to get to pay for it, told me, you're going to have to take your battery off it and leave it here. They won't let you on the island. I said, I'm disabled. And he goes, it doesn't matter. We are not going to transport your bike with a battery on it. So we just went in. We decided not to go that time, and we left our bikes when we did go. Yeah, so that being said, there's some problems out there, especially with city governments deciding how and when you should be able to ride your bike if you're disabled. They've been sued in the past, and they have not gotten the message. Sued and lost every time for not accommodating disabled people. Example, here in Belding, my town I live in, there was a disabled veteran that couldn't mow his grass, and his grass got high, and the people that normally mowed it couldn't get to him to mow his grass. He didn't have a service or somebody. He's disabled, can't push a lawnmower, and the city wrote him a ticket for having too tall of grass. And the city has a duty to help those people that can't help themselves. What is city government for? They wrote him a ticket, and they continue to write him tickets for non-compliance, and I don't even remember how much it was. They had put a lien against his property. It had become so much, and so he took them to court and sued them. Got 25 grand out of the city. City had to settle, and now when he needs his grass mowed, they have to ask him if they can mow his grass for him. I'm not saying they don't charge him for it. I'm just saying they have to attempt to mow his grass before they do anything. So cities are starting to learn that you have to accommodate everybody, not just the able-bodied people. And I think that's what the island should do. They should accommodate anybody that comes to them with a letter, a doctor's note, a disability letter, or whatever, and accommodate them instead of being buttholes. Denying them. The city attorney keeps on sending them letters. Denied, denied. The city attorney shouldn't be the one that decides which e-bikes can be on the island. Now, if you're a resident over there, that's a different story. You can have an e-bike. So I've been on the island and seen e-bikes that were powered, not with batteries missing, that were powered, and they were just riding them all over the place, using the throttle, not even a class 1, class 3 bikes. It's a matter of who you are over there. If you got the moolah, they've got the time to let you bring your bike over there. Well, this is long enough for us, 12-minute video. I wanted to just discuss what the senator said, his office said. He supports it. Just an overview, he supports it, and there is going to be some changes coming. Good, bad, or indifferent, I don't know, and neither does he. Have a great day.